Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC but do everything DIY. And today we're going to be working on this sink here, and we're going to be installing a few shutoff valves. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. So the idea here is to rebuild this whole setup. The engineer wants to build it right up to the wall, so we're going to remove this shutoff valve and this one and put some new hoses. So we're going to start by disconnecting up here, and then what we're going to do is unsweat this valve. And we have a couple of new items here that we're going to be installing, and we're going to be cleaning this all up. First things first, we're going to want to make sure that our water supply is turned off. I did close a hot and cold water supply downstairs. This is now open, got no water. Looks like we still have a little bit of water on this side for the hot water side. So we're gonna have to adjust that. But in the meantime, we're gonna start here. So let's begin by disconnecting our braided hoses for our hot and cold water lines. All right, so I messed around with the valve downstairs and I think we got it all there. Oh, this is super loose already. So let's just disconnect that. Oh, it's still leaking water. All right, we gotta figure that out. There's not much to hold back on, but you know what? Until we figure out that hot water situation, let's start with the cold. All right. Got it disconnected and going into a bucket, so hopefully we're gonna get this thing to stop. All right, so I took off the hose and we are not leaking on our cold water side. Thank the Lord for that. Let's begin with this one. As soon as I said that, this thing is still leaking. Oh man. Still have a small drip. This is as best as I could get it. And here's the hot water side. Hoping this thing doesn't leak. That looks okay for now. Let's go ahead and disconnect that and see where we can start. All right, nothing truly holds here. Unreal. Let me see something. Maybe I can cut this out. Maybe cut the pipe right here and put on a compression fitting. This job is getting a little trickier than I thought. For some reason, this thing starts and stops whenever it wants. Then that's the hot water that's leaking. This one stopped right now, so let's go ahead and see if we can get anything. The thing is, they mentioned how one of these valves down there for the cold water just wasn't even bringing any water in at all, so that thing might be just done. But for these, honestly, it might look ugly, but if I can maybe just cut it here and add a valve, what's the big deal really? Don't really have slack here. All the others have more space except for this one. What I'm gonna try to do real quick is just see if I can unsolder this. Let's make sure the water is actually out of here.
You did it.
All right, got that. So I sanded down the solder. I think as far as this pipe right here, I might have to add the valve right here, as I don't have much space back here. This one I have more space. I might be able to get a pipe cutter back there, and then we can get our compression valves on. One thing I want to do is get rid of these things, and I'll put a new one in the end. I just want to make as much space as I can so I can either unsweat or cut behind here. The issue is the water in these pipes, so I'm kind of just breaking and cutting this thing out the way. So right there, so we have space to work with. go ahead and disconnect the last one. All right, we got one more. Those two are out, and we have it up to here for now. Still not sure exactly what I'm gonna do there, but I want to start with the hot water. So what we're gonna do is gonna take our nut, slide that back. From there, we're gonna take the sleeve. All right, you're gonna want to get that on there like that. Let's push it in. Then you want to get your valve on. Get your valve on and pretty much just bring this in and tighten it down. Alright, so we're going to hold back one side on the valve body and then tighten down on the nut itself. There, we have our first valve on. Let's just go ahead and close this. So make sure it's closed. And yeah, let's move on and pretty much repeat the process for all of these. Let's start with the hot water. So this is hot, and the one on the left that's dripping is also hot. All right, so this one's leaking. And we're gonna repeat the same process. Nut. Let's hopefully get that on there. Got the nut. Next is the sleeve. All right. So we're gonna go on like this. And I push this down against the pipe as I tighten down here. Once it's snug, I'm gonna get my wrenches on there. Let's tighten it down. All right, this is looking good, and from here we're gonna take off a compression braided hose from here to here. Super simple. I'm gonna take off this nut, and there's a sleeve inside here, but what we're gonna do, since there's a gasket in here, we're gonna take off, this is our 3/8, so it's just simply gonna tighten that down. And do a little twist. And we got a gasket in this one too. And do a little something like that. Alright. And then just tighten them down. You don't gotta go too crazy tight on these. That one, and then we're gonna tighten down this one. And we're pretty much just gonna repeat the process for the next one. All right, got the 3/8 here, the gasket. Just gonna tighten that down, snug. And we're gonna bring this one in, a little something like that. Make sure the gasket's in there. And tighten that down. Alright, so we got that in there. That's looking good. That one's looking good. Now we gotta rebuild this one and figure out what we're gonna do with this. If we're gonna get rid of this valve or not. It's kinda tight. I don't like the way it looks, but I'm just gonna have to do whatever we gotta do. What's good about compression fittings is for the fact that when you have water like that, it would be impossible to solder or braze. So these really keep coming handy. Let's go ahead and repeat the process the same as we did the other two. All right, we got that one on there. This hose, I'm gonna just leave that open while I heat this one up. Man, that one's pretty tight against the wall, but I think when I unsolder it, I'll have a little bit extra space, so let's go for it, because that's gonna look so ugly with that piece there, because this looks so much cleaner. Hopefully we can get this, because there's quite some water sticking out of there.
2,000 years later.
Alright, this is seriously impossible. I had a torch on there for like almost 10 minutes. This thing ain't coming out. Ay. Alright, hopefully it's not leaking over here now. Let's just throw this on. Alright guys, we put it on just like that. Not the biggest fan of it, but it is what it is. And this is the final product. Looks great. I also got new covers, so we could just take those and put them on right there. Alright guys, this is it. That is looking real nice. Here, the same thing. This one, ready to roll. Put all the soaps back, all the chrome matches. Got hot water, and we got cold water. Got hot water, and we got cold water. And everything works. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.